Hey guys, what's going on? It's Bridget Harrison, aka Bridget H. We're here today doing some makeup. I know you guys be like, I wonder how many of you guys want to know, like, how can I do my makeup and have multiple colors, or how can I do someone's makeup and have multiple eyeshadow colors? Well, today I'm here. Hopefully, I can help and we can get you an answer. So, the first thing we need to do before we go any further is you need to make sure you hit the subscribe button. Subscribe now. Pause, subscribe, thank you. So let's talk about her skin. Now, her skin, I prepped her skin with Mineralize Moisturizer, also Mac Hydra, and I have a link at the end of the video to everything I use. Chanel Hydra Beauty, which is one of my favorites, and I use some Marc Jacobs Do You Dewdrops, and I also use Pat McGrath Fine Gold Pigment, and you'll see the pigment part at the end, and I use MAC Prep and Prime Oil Stick. Now, that's what we did with her skin. Now, I haven't done her foundation or anything just yet. So, the reason why I hadn't done her foundation is because the shadow, the fallout is ridiculous. And when you're doing dark colors, it could give you a black eye. So, let's talk about her base. Her base shadow, what I'm using is a Makeup Forever M-298. So, at first, I was going to do a different base, but I changed my mind. So, that's what you see. So this color, her colors are more of a purple and pinkish colors. So I decided to go with a base that I could use to help blend out, which is more of a purple color. So as you see, I'm applying the shadow. I applied it with my 242 brush from MAC. And so I'm blending with my Morphe M441. So what you guys are about to see now, I'm using, it's a MAC pigment. It's a purple MAC pigment. You guys, like, I depotted my pigments a long time ago, and all those pigments will take you a long ways. Like, I've had them for years. I'm sorry, but it's a purple MAC pigment. I don't think it'll be hard to find. So that's like my first color that I'm using. So as you see, I'm taking my time. I'm patting. I'm putting it on. I'm patting. I put it on, and I also tap my brush so I could, even though I don't have foundation on, I still don't want like a ton of leave out because I prepped her skin with moisturizer and everything. And I'm using my MAC 242 brush. Like, this is one of my go-to brushes for concealers, for putting on shadows. It just depends on what I'm doing, and I just really love these brushes. And just pat and continue to pat and put on. Once I'm finished building my shadow up, I'll go in and I like to normally blend. And as you see, the color is becoming more pigmented, and I'm just loving this color. So as you see, I'm coming in with the M441 brush from Morphe, and I'm blending. So the whole thing is like about removing the lines, depending on what you're looking to do. Like, if you want to do a cut crease eye or something, you don't necessarily have to blend it. But for what I'm doing, I want the lines to be blended. So what I'm going in with this fluffier brush is the M501 from Morphe. Like, I use this brush for powder. I use this brush for bronzer. And what I did was just pretty much started to blend out her shadow, the line. And the reason why I'm picking her eyebrow lip is to make sure I'm blending. And sometimes when you start to blend, you know, you'll lose some of the pigmentation. So, you know, you just keep your brushes on hand. And that mascara brush. I'm using a mascara brush to pick up the loose hairs that shed from the Morphe brushes. You guys, these brushes are affordable too. And this is not paid. Like, I really use these brushes and I love them. So now we're using the Urban Decay Dark Cloud Shadows. These shadows are very heavily pigment. Very. I love them. I have like about 4 of those colors, and I plan on investing in some more in my kit. If you haven't tried them, make sure you try them. So now I'm applying my Midnight Hot Pink. I'm not for sure the color, but it's a color that comes in a palette. One of the Midnight palettes with a bunch of different colorful colors. So yes, I'm applying the shadow with my finger. Sometimes I use my finger, depending on what look I'm going for or how heavy I want it. But I eventually went to using my 242 brush, and I applied it, and I applied it even on both sides. So now what you see me doing is I'm going back in with my 242 brush and putting a color in the corner, which is the Urban Decay Dark Cloud. And y'all look how messy her face is on the sides. Ooh, I'm happy we haven't done any foundation. I'm like, oh my God. But that's the whole point. Now you see why I was like, I didn't do the foundation before this. Because once that happens, you can always go back in and clean it up without really messing your makeup up. So now you see I'm really blending. I'm blending with my M441 brush from Morphe. And I'm using also my 224 brush from Mac. So right now it's all about the blend. So what I'm doing is with my 224 brush, I'm going in between the shadows and trying to take those lines out of the shadows. So if you notice, the lines are gone. So now I'm on to the foundation. Yes, so my foundation I'm using is Kogondo. Don't hold me to that. I promise I'm gonna drop it and spell it for you, but their foundations are beautiful, especially when you want just a skin look and not a real heavy look. So right now I'm applying the foundation. Oh, and let's talk about this sponge from Real Technique. Oh, it's a gem. Oh my God. So another makeup artist turned me onto these, and when I tell you, I was like, I don't know, I love my beauty blender, but when I tell you, I used that sponge for the first time, and the thing I love about this sponge is that it's the shape, so it really gets up under the nose and up under the eye really well, and it works really well. And the cost of the sponge, the cost of the sponge. Walgreens had them a few weeks ago, like buy one, get one free, buy one something, get one free, and I was just like elated because I have loaded my kit up with these. Now this highlight I'm using is Kevin A. Kwan Skin Enhancer. I really, really love their foundation. Y'all, concealers and all that stuff is all foundation. It's just different levels. Now I really, really like this. And makeup artists, if you do not have this in your kit, it's a kit must have. And what I did, I just kind of cherry picked my colors because I wasn't for sure what I wanted or what I needed. And it just really, really worked out because I didn't think I needed like all those colors in my kit because you can custom blend also. So now I'm about to blend her highlight color in before I move on to my next color. You guys remember, blending is the key. So now I have my Chanel Natural Finish powder in the number 20, and I'm using that to set her foundation. Now you guys, this is like my favorite go-to powder in my kit. Ladies, ladies, ladies. This is an investment. Makeup artists, whoever, if you're using a powder, number 20, number 30, when I say they are a stapler to like, oh my God, like when I do my makeup, when I really, really do my makeup, I had to make sure I had some of that for my personal use. And I love it. And I'm real like, when I do my makeup, I'm just really simple. Like you guys see me like, Bridget, like really? But yeah, so that's what I used. I used the Chanel number 20. It's the loose powder. It is a investment for your kit. And so all I'm doing now is blending, setting her face, setting her face, setting the powder so we can make sure the foundation sits in place. So now I'm about to use the MAC Mineralize Skinfinish to warm her up. I'm using dark and dark golden. I really, really like these. Now, the one thing you have to do is really be careful with the skin. Like she has like really smooth skin. If someone has textured skin, you can make the texture pop more so then matte it out. So if she had texture skin, I wouldn't use the Mineralize Finish powders. I probably would use like a Almond powder, a Makeup Forever powder. It just depends on the brand and the color to contour her, or more so warm her up, because it's contour and warming. Because the reason why is because of the texture. So just be cautious with it. Ladies, if you have textured skin, you know, before you purchase these, I would just go into the Mac store and look. And artists, if you have these in your kit, because I've had issues before with the texture in the skin. I was like, what's wrong? But that was the problem, because the skin had texture. So I had to go back in and matte them out with just a regular powder. Now I'm using my Morphe 501 brush. So usually when I do the nose area, I go in with that brush to contour the nose. So now I'm about to do her liner in her eye. So to prevent fallout from messing up my foundation, I'm gonna go ahead and put some powder up under her eyes. It's still the Chanel powder. And the good thing about the Chanel powder, it's not gonna leave a heavy buildup or cast looking. And I'm using Alcone sponges. Again, at the end of the video, go into the description and I have a link to everything I used. Now here I'm using a Marc Jacobs liner, and it's called Blacker. And once I line up her eye with the blacker, I'll go back in with the Natasha Denona Blackest Black to set it. And then once I do that, I'm gonna go in with the shadows, and I'm gonna start with the darkest shadow and work my way down to the lightest shadow. Now once I finish putting the liner on, I get my MAC 219 brush with the Natasha Denona Blackest Black shadow and start applying the shadow. So I'll smudge and put it in. Now if I wanted to, I could just left that black, but because I want the color to pop and it's more about the color, I'm gonna go in with the other colors as well. Oh, and I have my powder puff brush, and it's from Makeup Forever, but I found some more reasonable powder puffs. They're white, but they're cheaper, so they're like $2 each in the Costco's. I'll put a link to those. You'll dispose of them, but they're a lot cheaper, or you can wash them. So as you see, I'm putting the shadows now, and I'm just gonna build and blend. So now I'm about to do her brows. I'm starting off with the Anastasia Soft Brown in the brow wigs, and then I'm gonna go in with the Dip Brow Soft Brown from MAC. So remember I told you at the beginning I used some Pat McGrath Fine Pigment 003 as part of her highlight, and then I used some MAC Prep and Prime Oil Stick, and I'm using some NARS Deep Throat Blush to complete my look. And for her lashes, she has some Salon Perfect 615 and some Broadway Wispies. And for her lips, I use some MAC by Snob. You guys, I enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed this. You guys told me to talk more, and we're gonna have so much fun moving forward. Thank you again. Make sure you subscribe.